go.
So
We're
yeah,
live now.
it was a good race from Baraps in Paul Ricard last week. Definitely with the mixed conditions. How do you think he'll fare today?
Well, he's got a definite chance here. He's showing a great turn of pace. I mean, it's anyone between about 5 or 6 drivers, I think, for this weekend. As we see the remaining cars, I think we've got a car actually firing up, maybe going out at the minute.
Interesting.
Heard an engine note in the background.
Yeah, we've got, I think it's a Racing Point. Oh no, it's a McLaren, it's Kimi.
Yeah. Kimi's going out for a sighter. Going to give everyone a little tour of the Red Bull ring. Of course, home to the Red Bull team, their home Grand Prix here in Austria. A real short lap, and that will make mistakes ever more highlighted throughout this Grand Prix, because especially when it comes down to qualifying, you've got so few corners, so few braking and traction points, and really to maximise your potential. So it's going to be about getting the perfect lap here. The last sector especially, be very careful in terms of track limits. That's going to be crucial around here, because these boys push these cars to the maximum. So it's going to be an interesting session coming up. Strategy as well, what tyre compounds to choose. What would you start on, Phil, for this Grand Prix?
I mean, it's a 50% race. For me, if you've got the pace, and that's if you've got the pace, if you know you've got the pace. So I'd start on the softs, but me personally, I would start on the mediums, purely because I would go long. If you remember Harry West in the TSRC CSR round 1, he took him, I think, 26 laps in Austria, the medium tyres, to a good stint, and then finished P2. So
a very durable tyre. As we see, we've got the one final car now. We're just waiting on is Oxtes, just waiting for him to retire from this session, and we'll move into Q2. And that will be a crucial part, because you'll be starting the race on them tyres, unless it's raining, of course. We're not privy to the forecast. So if anyone is watching, please do tune in and give us a little message to let us know the forecast for the weekend. It'd be nice to hear from you. But going into this race,
yeah, there we go.
Very tight in the championship.
And advance. Yeah, I'm just looking at the championship. So you've got Baraps tied at the top, which is tight actually, because so is this their third race, second race?
This is round 3, I do believe.
This is round 3. Yeah, okay, right, I've got it out. Yeah, I'm with you. Yeah, I'm with you now.
Yeah, we've got the Canadian, French, and Austrian. This is the Austrian.
And we set for Q2 here. Only 15 drivers, so no need for any of the drivers to go out for a lap. Just be wasting rubber.
Yeah, especially if you're looking to start on the medium compounded tyre. You're going to probably look to do one run, potentially have 2 if you go for the harder tyre selection. But yeah, it'll be interesting. You want to start at the front of this Grand Prix, because you want to get ahead, get that margin. So I think we'll see a lot of cars come out on this soft tyre as well. And yeah, we've got quite a few cars on track already.
So I'm just while you go on board with the drivers, just give everyone a little outlook of how the table is looking at the moment. So Yalnif and Stubbsy are tied at the top at the moment, both with 30 points. Then for your minor places, you've 5 points out of it. You've got Callum CW on 25, just above him on 27 is Baraps. So realistically, then you've got ABR AJ 21 on 12 points, ABR Bowen on 12 points. So realistically, any of the top 6 could go into round 4 at the top of the Drivers' Championship. Very open in this early stage.
Very open in this early stage, and a shortened calendar as well. I think we've got 11 rounds of this season, of course, to coincide with the new seasons at Grand Prix coming up in the new game. So, mistakes will be highlighted because of that. And, one bad finish could be you out of the championship. That's for sure. So it's going to be about keeping it consistent. Good bag of points is needed.
On board with ABR Yaunif. I mean, that you've made a really good point there, to be fair. I mean, there's not much. I mean, all of these drivers have got so much standard between them. I mean, I saw last week's qualifying and the gaps between pole, I think it was, to like P9 or P10 or something ridiculous like that. It was unreal. So there's really not much between any of the drivers here. It's just A, if they can get the strap right, B, if they can keep it touchwood out of the barrier, the grass, the gravel, and they should be alright. But it's going to be competitive, that's for sure. I'm looking forward to it.
Indeed. Lady Luck will, of course, play her part in this championship. I'm sure of that as well. But these drivers are of the highest order. Some great talent on display. And, like you say, anyone's to pick from. It's just going to be about who's waking up on the right side of the bed, or the wrong side, shall we say, and who's going to be in tip-top form, put their miles in, and really got to grips with certain tracks. Everyone has their own favourites, of course.
This is really
not one of my own.
I have just found, so we're in Q2, so obviously these are going to be your starting tyres for the race. Yaunif's just put in a 1:14.5 on the mediums, so he's looking to start on the mediums, and then his teammate ABR Bowen is now going for a lap on the hard compound tyres and a 1:05.9 for ABR Chris to kick us off. Definitely.
Good way to get started. Yaunif just had a bit of a slow lap there.
Yeah.
He's running a bit slow.
Some people do like to go for an extra out lap, but it has been known. I've never done it myself, but in all fairness,
sometimes fuel plays a part as well.
Yeah.
Maybe want to burn off as much as possible and have the minimal come your maximum attack lap. You want the minimal weight possible. You've got yellow flag in sector 2. It seems like everyone's got back to running speed though.
Be interested to see what ABR Bowen's pace is as well in the hard tyres. So he thinks he's going to take them for a long stint. It can't be raining in the race then if he's going out on hard tyres for Q2.
Yep, Cookie's just gone fastest, one of 1:05.396, and he's on the medium compound of tyre. Got some people out on the hard tyres as well, maybe just getting to grips with the track more likely than not. Maybe they will start the race on the hard. Do you think anyone will, Phil?
I mean, yes, it's going to take you the distance. Yes, it's going to take you to a vast point in the race where you think you're going to change over to the softs and be absolutely on fire. But it's just if you can keep those hard tyres up to pace with the other drivers that arguably are going to be starting on mediums for the first 3 quarters of the race. If you can, then sure, go for it. But the hard tyres has never been a tyre that I'd use in a 50% race around Austria.
Not in a voluntary situation anyway. So we've got Burap's fastest, a 1:04.8. iLethal's just gone with a 1:04.9 as well. They're both on the soft compounded tyre. Bowen comes up to the line, and Bowen's going to set a time of a 1:06.4 on the hard compounded tyres.
Kimmy as well.
A bit of a spread of field here in terms of strategy at the current time.
It's not going to give you pole though, is it? I mean, if you get in the top 10 here on the hard tyres and then you whack on the softs in Q3 and then you get pole, you're going to be laughing. I mean, you're going to be slow, but you're going to be laughing. As we got Kimmy now, he's just got the last couple of corners to go now. He is also on the hard tyre and he's invalidated, maybe not. Lives to fight another day. He might, he's taking it really wide, but I think he might be going on another lap. He is. We'll wait and see what he's going to do as we go on board.
Vitsno 105.7 on the hards as well. That's a pretty decent lap time there. That's fastest of the hard runners so far.
He's extracted
pretty
some
good to
pace
get to
there,
105. So.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's
Silent
what
Boom's,
I was getting on the softs.
Yeah, Boom is back out. He's looking to boom with a soft tyre. He's going to go attack Strat Mode 5. And he's really going to wind it up now as he comes up across the line, down into turn 1. Is he going to pick his braking spot?
I'll just keep an eye on the
too
Ferrari
much
Gator
of
as
the
well.
left there. Keeps it clean through turn 1. Good on the power and didn't break traction. Got quite a few cars up ahead. Hopefully that won't distract him. Car pulls off very nicely there. It's the apex, lovely. Pretty good on traction once again. No wheel spin there. Shifting up through the gears past Callum. I think must be on an out lap. Yeah, Callum has just come out for his first time lap. Through sector 2 here. What can he do? This really shows if you go for a low drag setup through this sector 2 here.
You got Kimi
pretty
up
good
to
on the
8th.
apex.
Kimi up to 8th, the 110. You definitely think he could go better there.
Getting on the hard tyre. We just get into grips. Silent Boom coming around sector 3 into the final few corners. Got Bowen just up ahead, hopefully give him a bit of a tow up to the line. It's a bit tardy on the exit though, but what's it going to be? It's going to be a pole 104.560. I say pole, but this is of course Q2. We're going to have some people eliminated here. The top 10 shootout.
Just got on board with Callum as he comes down around turn 1 and up the hill, up that little bump, and round turn 2. No wheel spin at all, good exit there. Into mode 4 as he comes down the second DRS zone of the lap. As he goes into the tricky sector 2, this is the part where it's crucial to find any sort of temps you can get. Want to make sure you get a nice tidy exit. A 45.3 in sector 2 for Callum. As he now comes up the hill to take the last couple of corners. How can the Williams fare on here? On the medium compound tyres. As he comes around the final corner now. And he hasn't done that.
That was a big anti-climax there. If there was anyone, oh my god.
Maybe he must be going for 2 out laps. Unless he like invalidated on the last corner or something.
See what he's saying as he winds it up. Needs to put in a time here.
He has. Oh no.
Comes around the final corner up to the line. What's it going to be? It's going to be good. And it's very good. It's P4 104.686.
And Craze Oates has gone P3. Mystic Reed's gone P4.
Top 6. All on the soft tyre. Fastest of the medium runners is currently Cookie.
Just on board with Callum now. Yeah. He's just completing his lap. He'll be the last of the 15 runners to complete a flying lap here. What's it going to be? And he's dived into the pits, so he's aborting this one. Right, we'll take a deep breath for a minute. Yeah, Richie, do go over the how it's looking so far. I mean, it's tight at the top, I'll tell you that. Between the top 3.
Ooh. Well, there's a lot that can play out in this later phase of Q2. We've got 4.5 minutes remaining now. We've got Kimi really needs to put in a lap time, as well as Callum. We know they've got the pace in this Grand Prix. I think Bowen as well, he's come out on probably a softer compounder tyre. Yeah, he's gone for the softs. So we're going to see a lot of movers and shakers in the next couple of minutes, because it's time to roll the dice and really secure your spot for that top 10 shootout, because I think track position will be key. This is a track where you can and will overtake, but getting off the line and establishing your position is going to be key to this race strategy. Of course, we're not privy to the race conditions, but it looks like it will be a dry Grand Prix, considering that we've got a lot of medium runners and also some people on the hards at the current time. We've got Bowen on an out lap at the minute. needs to improve. He's currently got a 106.1 on the hard compounder tyre, currently in P12, and expect to see Kimi fly up the order as well as Callum. Callum's going to be a big contender for the pole position, sure of that. Yalnif can go quicker, Buraps as well. We think we've got more in the locker from him. That's my key takes from this opening part here. Bowen looking really smooth, steady on his current lap at the minute. Just don't want to break traction at any point. You want to maximise the grip through here. Sector 2 really tricky if you've got low front wing. Coming up to Sector 3. It's looking good so far. Turned it in really nicely there. Round the final corner, up to the line. What's it going to be for Bowen? Currently P12, he moves up to 6 of 104.691. There's currently 3 cars in the 106s. Very, very tight at the top of the order. And will he get back to go again? I don't think he will, but that should secure him through.
Callum goes onto his fly there. Still the only one of 15 drivers not to put in a lap. He's going to try and replicate what he did in the Canadian Grand Prix. He's going to try and replicate that win. Of course, he only got that win 2 rounds ago. And with a P12 finish last race, as Baraps goes quicker again, he's taken Silent Boom off the top spot with a 104.4. Of course, this is only Q2, so I think the 104 runners, especially the low 104 runners, I think they can count themselves safe.
Can stop off for an ice cream. They deserve it, I think.
I think it's especially Baraps with a 104.4, but we're now on board with Callum. He's just past the second sector here. He's now going to try and put in a time as the Mercedes of, I believe it's Bowen getting out the way as Callum comes around the final corner now, mode 4, and he goes P2 with a 104.5. Good lap. He'll be pleased with that, that's for sure. But he's going to be starting on the softs.
Yeah, they've all committed to that. Currently, ABR Vintino is the best of the medium runners. He's looks like he's going to scrape through. Hopefully, we've got still cars out on track. PWR Dan, we're going to ride
watch the bottom runners. You watch Dan, I'm watching Chris in the Ferrari, who's currently up on his first sector time.
Coming up to 30 seconds remaining of this session. There's going to be a lot of movers and shakers in this final few moments. We've got
Kimi
cars
only up to
all out
P12, he's not going to get through. Kimi only up to P12, he's not going to get through. Mystic Reed's going to come across the line next. What's his time going to be? And that is an outlap of Mystic Reed, so we'll go back down to ABR Chris, who's currently sitting 15th.
Dan comes around the final corner and up to the line. What's it going to be? It's going to be a quick one, and it's going to be a 104.520. He's gone a second quicker and put himself P2 overall. Really dug it out there.
Chris crosses the line now, and Chris is only P11. He's not going to improve.
And we got Cookie coming around the final corner. He's on the soft tyre as well. Can he improve? Up to the line. What's he going to get? He's getting a 104.873. 7.2, sorry. And he's currently P13. Who else is still on a lap? I think we've got Mystic still on a lap. He's up on his Delta. Into the final corner. What can he do? Up to the line. It's a 104.641. And he's gone 9th. He just secured his spot in the top 10 with that lap. So I think that is everyone across the line. So eliminated now. We've got ABR Vitino, and he's currently on the medium tyre, so he's looking pretty there in P11. You can go with a fresh Strat as well, a fresh compounder tyre. But yeah, all of the top 10 there opting for the soft compounder tyre. So we get to the top 10 shootout. Who's going to save some tyres? They should all have some fresh sets, considering they didn't do the first qualifying session. Who's your take for pole, would you say, Phil? Burap's looking good. Callum, PWR there. Of course, Silent Boom, we know well about him. He could definitely pull it out the bag. So as we gear up for Q3, we're going to see anyone out early. Is everyone going to leave it to the last moment? It's going to be interesting here. Of course, you don't have to start the race on these compounder tyres, so you can really just rag them to their death. But it's going to be interesting. Will cars go around and do 2 laps? I'm thinking, because of the fuel here, Phil, you're going to want to burn off a bit of fuel before you really attack and get the tyres in the right window.
Yeah, absolutely. Apologies for that. My mic just randomly cut out and then wouldn't reconnect, so that was brilliant. Yeah, this is going to be crucial. I mean, the cars that have gone through to Q3, they're going to have, what would you say, 2 respectable runs, maybe 3.
They should have 2 new sets, most likely, unless some people did have to do runs on the soft tyre. I'm not quite sure there. Well, I think they should have 2 fresh sets that be able to go on. They might go on a scrub set as well. Of course, you don't need to worry about the top race. So it looks like Yalnif is going to be one of the first cars to set a respected lap time. Still in the pits, we've currently got Bowen, Lethal and Oxtes. But the majority of the field have decided to go out and to get an early lap time, get that banker lap and really attack come the end of the session. So Yalnif's just coming around the final few corners here. Looking to wind one up. Let's ride on board.
Now goes up to set his flying lap here. Comes down the hill, past turn 1, DRS open. Now comes in past and towards the end of sector 1 into the end of sector 2.
Using all of the space there. Maximising the curbs.
Now it's sector 3. How is he going to fare around these last couple of corners? Catch a little bit of the inside curve as Callum goes pole with a 104.1. Here come the challengers behind him. It's ABR Yalnif next with a 104.3.
That was a great lap from Callum.
Baraps comes across the line with a 146, Silent Boom with a 148, and Stubbsy with a 149, all coming across the line at the same time there. It was a bit hard to keep on board with them all.
Going to ride on board with Mystic here. As he comes around the final few corners, what's he going to get? Up to the line.
Dan, P4.
He's going to do a 104.495, a very respectable lap there, currently 3rd fastest overall. That 104.1 is quite a special lap. Will we see anyone break a 103? We're so close to it. That would be a real ask, yes. I would say.
Bowen's next, and Bowen is next. Bowen's on the hard tyres. Again, in Q3. I'm not quite sure what the strategy is here.
642. Got Lethal on the out lap. He's on the soft tyre.
On the hard tyre. I'm just trying to think what they could be doing.
Maybe he doesn't have enough tyres in the locker and he's just looking to get a sighter. Just get out, get a feel for the track, come back in and maybe put on a soft tyre. This Lethal runs really wide on the exit there. I think a lot of people will now sit in the pit lane and look to go out towards the end of this session.
And this Bowen is now coming on the last couple of corners. I think he is gonna come across the line. I don't get it though. He's not putting in any. He's not getting in any times. He's not invalidating.
And as Lethal comes up to the line, what's he going to get? It's going to be a 105.117, so that puts him P9 currently overall. I think he might be going for another flying lap though, I've got the feeling. Maybe that was just a warm-up, get his sighter in, but he's not got the ERS. He's only got 17% remaining. It's not going to do him for the remainder of this lap, so he's going to have to come back, re-evaluate and go again. So we've currently got Buraps back out on track. He's going to want to get another lap in here. He's currently got a 104.634 as Mystic exits the pits as well. He's on the out lap.
Oh.
These times are sensational. 104.1. That is proper quick, boys and girls. Proper quick. Warming up the tyres, coming into sector 3. Just want to place it perfectly, get the right exit. That's it, and we wind it up to start our flying lap with Buraps here as he comes across the line. Down into turn 1, drops it down to 4th gear. It's on the curve there on the exit nicely, no traction broken there. It's on the power. Strap mode 4. Coming down into this heavy braking zone. Heavy under brakes down to 1st. Just get the rotation there. Back into 2nd. Up through the gears. Going back into strap mode 4. Deploying all the power we can here. Braking heavy down into 2nd. Back up into 3rd. Nice clean on the power. A bit of a lock up there into that past corner. Slight hesitation there, but looking confident through sector 2. This comes around the final few corners. He's going to abort and he's going to go back into the pits. He's going to abort that lap. So we're going to ride back on board with Mystic, who's currently 2 hundredths of a second faster than his best here, and now he's a 10th. He's a 10th up, so he's going to really make some places up if he can pull this together in the final sector now.
Grey's Oats also on flying lap as well, just behind.
Really placing it beautifully there, using all of the track available, not cutting the corner. As he comes up to the line, it's going to be a 104.3. It's going to go 2nd fastest overall, Mystic, and a real good lap from him there. Congratulations, son. That was extracting the maximum, 104.1.
And there we go.
A tough order.
Here comes the racing point, round the last corner. Grey's Oats is going across the line. And he goes 2nd.
104.2. Some great pace.
Stubbsy's put it P6. Is anyone going to be able to beat Callum's 104.1? Going to be tough.
That's a very decent lap. A very, very decent lap. And it's going to take a lot. As we're going to see most of the cars come back towards the pits now. And come out with about 2 minutes remaining.
Bowen still not set a time yet. He's going to want to set in a time. Hopefully. I think Oates is going again. Because he ran it in mode 5. Oh, he bought some boxes into the pits.
Sorry, I had some
As
issues.
Yelnif comes out. Yelnif and Baraps now is gonna cross the line and he's gonna start his flying lap here in the Red Bull as he heads up to turn 1. ERS open, mode 4. Up the hill towards turn 2. Not had a bad first sector. As he now comes round our sector 2 for him, he is 2 tenths up.
It's looking like a good lap, Phil.
He has got every chance to put it in the front row here. He comes around the final corner now. What's it going to be for Baraps? And Baraps goes P2 and look at the gap. Look at the gap between P1 and 2. That's unreal. And this is where it's hammer time. This is where everyone's going to start to put in a lap. I'm going to watch Silent Boom.
I'm going to watch Yelnif as he comes through sector 3 here. His final few corners. He's got Mystic really slow up ahead of him. I think that might have put him off slightly as he comes up to the line. What's it going to be? It's going to be a 104.141. Oh! A 141 for Yelnif. What a lap. I thought he might have got slightly put off there with Mystic in the final sector, but he pulled it out of the bag.
Callum's still on a flying lap
Hats
as well.
off.
Callum's coming around the final corner now, I think. And here we go. Silent Boom as he comes around the last couple of corners. Where's he gonna be? Comes around the final corner. Is it? Oh, it's only P6 for Silent Boom. And now Mystic Reed as well. We're going to watch on board. He's currently sitting in P5, the McLaren. Comes round the last couple of corners.
Bowen has aborted, or has he?
And Dan's gone fastest.
Dan, wow, 117.
5 place grid penalty for Yelnif. As Mystic Reed crosses the line. Can't improve. And here comes Stubbsy. Stubbsy's now got a couple of corners to go. Stubbsy now has taken it well, got some inside curb as he comes around the final corner. Can Stubbsy say anything about it? No, he can't.
And we still got Oxtes out on the lap, one of the few remaining on track, I think. No, he's coming to the pits. Sorry.
And that is it. PWR Dan is going to take pole position here with a 104.1.
Now, I think something went on there,
Yelnif.
Phil. We had a grid penalty, and we had a few people not set a lap time in them closing stages. So I think there might have been some hold up at some point. But 104.1. Look how many cars we got in the 104.1s. The top 4, Phil. Top 4.
That's crazy.
And Callum and Burap separated by 4 thousandths there. Really, really tight.
1,000.
That was a good session. Let's hope for a good race as well, boys and girls. We're going to get into it pretty soon. Everyone has finished their laps, and yep, the session has been completed. We will head straight into the race. Of course, there will be a slight delay, but look at that. Pole separated by 0.024 of a second. Wow, that's some tight margins, and the top three there, top four, separated by 0.067 of a second.
I'm obviously going to get P2 because Yanif picks up that 5-place grid penalty, so that's going to demote him down to P7. Interesting.
So remember, all of the top 10, I think, are starting on the soft compounder tyres. There will be some players outside this top 10 which can really come into their own with the strategy being on the opposite there. Safety cars, of course, as ever, will be really crucial throughout this Grand Prix. I don't see there being too many because the field is so talented. You know, I don't expect too many mistakes throughout this Grand Prix. But it's going to be a spicy one, that is for sure.
Let's see who going to have the better of the starts out of the front two. Who is going to get that drive into turn one, and who is going to be able to avoid contact?
So Callum's readied up. We've got the countdown begun. 20 seconds until we form the grid and we get ready for the formation lap. It's going to be a good one. Conditions look beautiful here. So we're looking for almost entirely dry Grand Prix, we hope. The sky is blue and a good day for racing. Apologies, I've got the audio there on the stream. So as the grid forms up, we're going to get ready for the formation lap. And Dan leads them away. So it's the two Williams there on the front row of the grid, locking it out there. And a great qualifying performance from them. Then we've got Buraps there, currently in P3, representing at Red Bull's home Grand Prix, and for ABR as well. Then we've got Oxtears just behind in the racing point, starting fourth on the grid. We've got Mystic in P5, Silent Boom, who's a resident of our league in calendar season racing, also High Speed Apex. He's always the one on the podium there. He's in P6. We've got Yaunif. I expect to see some Yaunif make up some positions in this Grand Prix. He's currently down in P7. Remember, he had that excellent drive before Phil when we commentated.
Yeah, absolutely. Had a great race there in Paul Ricard.
Stubbsy P8, Lethal P9. Bowen's going to start P10. Then we got the first. Well, he did run a medium, but he's going to start on the soft compounder tyres there in P11 is Vinto. We've got Chris. Chris is first of the medium runners, starting down in 12th. And we've got Cookie just behind him. He's also going to start on the medium compounder tyre, as well as Kimmy. Gator's going to opt for the softs. And Ganja Wiz also on the soft there in P16. So I think he was late to the party. He must have joined late in the session as well, Ganja Wiz. There, starting at the back, but he's got excellent pace and he's got a good bag of points to boot, so he's going to look to make up some positions in this Grand Prix.
As they form back up now, How are the drivers going to fare at the start?
Do the honours if you wish.
It's going to be squeaky bum time here as the 16 drivers finish reforming the grid. As we wait for lights out. And we've got a nice little helicam for lights out. It's 4 red lights, 5 red lights. And it's lights out and away we go for the Austrian Grand Prix. It's
Buraps
a good start from Dan. He's got an absolute launcher. And Buraps is going to go around the outside of Callum into turn 1. There's a Mercedes that's gone wide, a Ferrari that's gone wide, and Dan leads the Austrian Grand Prix. Going up into turn 2.
And we've got 3 cars battling here.
From Buraps.
Callum trying to defend. We've got the
Toro
Silent Boom running wide, I think that is. and he's going to make contact on the exit as well with the Mercedes back there. Manages to hold it together and fight another day. And we've got Kimi dropping to the back of the field. With Silent Boom's dropped a lot of positions there down into P11, and they're getting 3 wide there down into that braking zone. Not that much room on the apex, lads. And wow, some great early action as Buraps pulls out half a second. Now 6/10 in the opening lap of this Grand Prix, and Silent Boom is going to really
down to 4th.
Move on here.
Callum is down to 4th, dropped 2 positions off the start. He's not going to be best pleased with that as the Red Bull, Mystic Reed and Lethal go side by side. That was a good little battle there. And he's going to try it again into the last corner of the Red Bull. Can he get one up on his home Grand Prix? But now the Mercedes of Yalnif's going to get the slipstream. They're all getting the slipstream up into turn 1. And of course, no DRS yet until lap 3 as they go down and past turn 1. There's a little battle here in front of Mystic Reed. Can Lethal get the move done as he's going to shoot down to the inside? And he's going to get the move done. They make contact. And Mystic Reed stays on the track. So does Lethal. And Mystic Reed just going to hold the place.
We've got a great battle behind that as well. We've got ABR Chris, we've got Bowen, we've got Ganja Wiz. They're all going 3 wide into the braking zone. And some great respectful driving as Bowen takes the position from Chris there, but Chris is going to come back underneath him on the exit, and it's Ferrari versus Mercedes, and the Mercedes just slips through up the inside there on the soft compounder tyre. Chris gets pushed back there down into P11. Wow, some great racing on this opening laps of the Grand Prix. Let's get back to the leaders. We've got Buraps closing in now on the leader. He's currently, he's just dropped a little bit there. Must have had a little moment. He's got to come under attack down the main straight. We've got the racing point.
As DRS is now enabled. And that racing point looks like he's got a great run on the Red Bull here. But of course the Red Bull with DRS as well on the leader.
Yeah, ever gaining on the leader coming into the braking zone. It's just a quarter of a second. It's going to rise back on the exit of the corner up to half a second now.
Fantastic start from Dan there. He had a great start. Not too much wheel spin off the start and executed the launch perfectly. Got into turn 1 with a great gap, and yeah, that's why Callum got squeezed out, and then Buraps said thank you very much.
Buraps slotted right in there. He got an excellent launch off the line, and real confidence down into turn 1. He was in the right place on the track at the right time, and yeah, the second Williams really losing out there, but expect to see him bounce back in the not too distant future. As we come across the line to start lap number 4, it's PWR Dan, then it's ABR Buraps, Oxtes, Callum, Stubbsy, Vinto, Rixid, Yalnif, Bowen, Ganja Wiz, Chris, Cookie, Silent Boom, Kimi, Gator, and then Lethal at the back of the order. And as we go down into the next
here goes Buraps. Buraps is going to go down the inside, and there's a new leader.
Change of the lead.
Buraps has gone down the inside, so does Crazy.
Change of P2.
Going to get on the action. Callum's there as well, and Stubbsy's just waiting behind to pick up the pieces as well. We've got a lovely view from Stubbsy's point of view. The Williams is going to try and come back around the outside, as now Callum's going to try and move up. He's gone a little bit wide, and I think that's going to allow Stubbsy around the inside, and it has.
We've got 5 cars in this battle, and it's anyone's to take from this. They've all got the pace. They've all got the minerals. What's it going to be? Oh, we've got to be really careful. Keep it on the racetrack.
Oh, and he's round. Callum's round.
Callum is round. He's spun.
He's round.
Oh,
he's
no,
round.
disaster.
I saw that. He was tugged by. He clinched onto the back tyre of Stubbsy, and I think Callum had to back off there. I think Stubbsy had the position, but Callum was just trying to stick him around the inside, caught the back tyre, and Callum now is going to dive into the pits because I'm guessing he's got nose damage and he's going to get a change of a front wing. Not good news there for one of the championship contenders as he boxes now, and it is going to be a new wing.
Big
and it's the hard tyres.
Battling here with Ganja Wiz, fighting over P8 at the current time. Who's going to come out on top? Currently Bowen's slightly ahead here. Ganja's just taking the lead again as they go side by side into the braking zone. And yes, Ganja Wiz gets the position done. Bowen looking to come
Dan's
back
going to
again.
be right up the back of Baraps as they go around the final corner. If he can make it stick in sector 3 and gets a good exit out of the final corner, these 3 at the front, they're going to have a right old DRS train.
It's going to be about now. Who can go longer on the strap? Maybe get the undercut involved. It's going to be really interesting.
Well, you say that, but I think Vittino, he's up 6 places. I believe he started on fresh soft tyres down in P11.
It's currently in P11, yes, so he started on the medium. Kimi, who are you referring to? Sorry.
Vittino, he started P11 on the grid. He's up 6 places, and his soft seems to be in much better nick than everyone else's.
Ganjel is making up 8 positions there as well. Really rocketing up the field after starting plumb last. He's found himself currently in P8 and looking pretty there.
Oh, Crazo's right on the back of Dan. As Silent Boom has dropped 8 positions, whilst Callum has dropped 13 positions. Not the start that the Toro Rosso and the Williams wanted.
So Callum now
named AlphaTauri, of course,
taking it to the end on the hard compounder tyre. It's going to be a tall order to ask of the tyre, as the field is pretty spread out now. Cookie looks like he's gaining on Chris there. Yeah, both on the medium compounder tyres, so that's the battle of the mediums. And we've got
Stubbsy and Crazos are battling now, and they've just gone past turn 2, and now they're side by side, and it seems that Oates is going to get the place. He's got the inside line. I think Stubbsy's going to have to back out of it. He has. Just make sure you give him room.
The Haas is going to come up the inside.
From you, Rich.
And we've got Vinto. He's made another position up. He's up into P4 now. What a move that was. Real close section.
I think he's got better tyres than the 3 cars in front of him.
So we've got all of the top 9 currently on the soft tyre, 6 lap old. And then we've got Kimi in P10. He's the first of the medium runners.
That would have been a deja vu for you there, Rich. Down into that corner.
We've all got fond memories of that corner, Phil.
Oh, and the Haas has got a great exit out of turn 1. And now he's right on the back of the racing point as he pulls out to the left-hand side. Is he going to get him under braking? Is he going to have better traction coming out the corner? And he's made the move stick. He's up 8 places and he's into P3. What a move by ABR Vittino there. And now he is on the 2 front runners. He is certainly making good use of his tyres, that's for sure. And Dan is right on the back of Baraps now as they just continue to battle around this Red Bull ring. How much good nick are their tyres in? Have their tyres fallen off trying to defend too much? Have their tyres fallen off and trying to attack too much? We'll see. Now Dan's going to get the DRS as they come down the start-finish straight. He seems to be gaining. Baraps, I think, is doing some energy saving. And now Dan is going to get the run on Baraps. And don't think he's going to get close enough. I think Baraps in the straight line is just pulling out.
Penalty there for Bowen. He looks like he's got a good exit here, and he's going to get right in the toe. It's going to be a real lunge though if he's going to make it. It's too far back once again.
He's not going to stick from there.
Some good driving, clean exits there for Baraps. Really enabling
that Haas driver's going to be sitting back and saying, you two battle, you two do what you want, because when you make him VSC, and we have Yaunif on the gravel. I wonder what has happened there.
He's dropped right
VSC
down the order.
Deployed. He was on the gravel, that's all I saw.
Don't think anyone else is dropping down the order, are they? I think everyone else. Yeah, looks like they're good to come through unscathed. Is the leader's going to pit?
Yalnif has lost his right end plate.
We've got Oxtes and Stubbsy
into
into the pits now. Ganja Wiz Mystic has also chosen the virtual safety car to get the box
Yalnif's
on.
going to pit. He's going to have a nose change. He's lost his right end plate of his front wing, Yalnif. He's not going to be happy with that. But hopefully under this VSC, he's not going to lose as much time as it's the hard tyres. And it's doing that tyre glitch again. It says it's softs, but I know it's hards, I believe.
It is indeed. As we get racing once again, it's Buraps and Dan's going to make a move. There's going to be a change of the leaders there. Buraps has got the inside. Dan's going to get pushed wide. He's going to get good traction here. You can see Buraps saving some energy.
Look at the Haas driver. The Haas
it.
driver is there. The Haas driver's sticking in behind.
He wants a piece of this action. This is his time to pounce. He's been sitting back watching what's going on for the lead. Now he wants to be involved. He wants his 5 minutes here. Come on, Vinto. They come across our line. We've got our pole setter.
Oh, it's Vittino.
P1. Vittino, sorry.
Vittino. Yeah, Vittino. That's it. And it's a good. Oh, he's almost lost it.
He got a moment on there.
Good save. Good save.
Really good save. Going to need a change of underwear. Box after that. As we come down into the heavy braking zone, perhaps he's right up the gearbox of Dan. He needs a clean exit.
There's going to be an incident. Oh, and Kimi has just pushed Cookie right on the grass. How he's not crashed there, I do not know.
Remember, if you're tuning into the stream, we do have two point of views of this. So do hop across to Phil's Twitch. What's your Twitch, Phil?
CSR Phil GH.
CSR Phil
CSR.
GH. Head over there to get the other perspective during this Grand Prix. It's going to be an epic one.
And we've just had Harry West say, think you say it like the end of Ronaldinho with Vitinho.
Vitinho. I like it.
Vitinho.
Vitinho.
I mean, it sounds more cooler, that's for sure, 100%.
Vitinho it is. We're going to bless him with that one. As we're into lap 12 now of this Grand Prix. The laps are flying down. We're a third of the way through this Grand Prix. It's anyone's of this top three here. They're starting to break away now. There's a 7-second gap to Bowen.
P6 v P5 here, round number 2, as the Renault's now going to get the DRS. And this could be a change of 5th position. And Kimi's going to force him out wide, and he's weaving under braking Kimi. I don't think that was very wise. And now he's going to get the DRS again, and he's going to force to the outside, and he just keeps forcing him with no track, and now he's pushed him wide.
Buraps is really coming under pressure from the Haas behind him of Vitinho, and Vitinho is looking really punchy, looking to make a move, staying really close in this final sector here, and maybe down the main pit straight or through after the exit of turn 1 he can look to make a move as they come across the line. He's going to be close enough down into turn 1 to make a lunge. And no, the car ahead's got DRS as well, so that's just going to keep him safe for the time being. You can see they've got Buraps here. He's harvesting energy. He's deploying it once again. And PWR Dan surely is going to come under attack. The Haas as well is going to be towing him along and going down into the braking zone. Buraps looks to the inside here and covers the apex, but the Haas gets the switch back on, gets on traction a bit earlier, and it's going to be anyone's coming down to the next corner.
Here we go again. I'm just on this little, this triple battle for 5th place.
As it goes side by side.
PWR Cookie and
Buraps is off into the barrier. Vitinho, there's contact there. Drama. That's
virtual safety car deployed.
My goodness. He was battling so hard, so fair. Disaster was never far away.
And he's lost his right end plate. Buraps has lost his right end plate. He's gonna need to box.
Coutinho looks okay in terms of damage. His tyres would have got a bit dirty there, but he's now 7 seconds behind the leader, who's the leader is now pit under VSC and making the opportunity here. Top 3 in the box. Bowen as well. Kimi's going to come round to take the lead of this Grand Prix under virtual safety car conditions. And we've got 4 cars with him. There's going to be a battle here for the lead. And yeah.
This is the lot I was on board with. They're providing a good little bit of entertainment. I think as they're off again. And now it's a good restart here from PWR Cookie. He's going to be right on the tail. Going into turn 2. And he's just going to stick on the back of him. He's got a great exit out of turn 2. Can he now? He's got DRS. He's going to launch it. Is he going to go down the inside? No, he's going to think better of it for now. But he's got a better exit again.
It's a twitch though.
As this is the current lead.
So Burap's now all the way down in P9. And Vitinho in P6 after that early incident in this Grand Prix on lap 13. And it's now Kimi that's taken the lead.
So essentially, your leader of the race is Craze Oates, who has stopped and put on the hard tyres. He sits in P3 with the front 2 not pitting, so that's a very good point. Both the top 2 haven't pitted, so Craze Oates doesn't really need to do anything stupid. He just needs to let them wear their tyres out. They're going to box them.
Go wheel to wheel into turn 1. They both make it through. The run wide though, and here comes Craze Oates. He's going to get the run now on the hard compound of tyre as well. And he's in the right place at the right time. Is there going to be any space for him? This is going to go 3 wide into the braking zone almost. They're going to touch the McLaren.
They've outbraked himself, and he's going to take the other inside. What a move!
Wow, what action we got here.
I told you that was all he was waiting for. He was waiting for just a little. And Stubbsy's gone up into P3, and Kimi has lost out.
Stubbsy's going to send it.
Stubbsy's now going to try and go down the inside.
Oh, they're going to lock wheels almost.
They touched.
Oh. It was always a repeat of what happened.
But Cookie's got the inside.
And he's made it stick. Stubbsy there up into P2. Wow, what drama we got at the front of the order in this Grand Prix. 15 laps in, plenty more action to go. And it's anyone's.
Here comes Dan. Dan in P5. He's right on the back of Kimi here.
He's made up some time already, hasn't he? He's really closed in that gap. He looks down the outside, down into turn 1. Oh.
And Kimi again.
Here comes Dan. He's going to make a position. He's in the DRS. He's on the fresh tyre. And he goes to the outside.
We've got Kimi's got down the inside of Cookie.
And he just slots up the inside. There goes Dan. Up into P3. Wow. That's happened a few times now, Phil. Down into that corner.
I can't help but think Kimi's got to leave the Renault a little bit more room there. He was virtually off the track again.
Yeah, really struggling to get the car stopped, and also that compromises the other car on the outside of you. And yeah, you want to brake a bit earlier on the inside, you would expect. But it's now Oxtes in the lead of this Grand Prix. Stubbsy P2. We've got Dan net overall, currently the leader of this Grand Prix. And then we've got Kimi, Cookie, Vitinho, who had that earlier incident. He's made up some time now, not looking too bad as he was. Ganjawiz from last on the grid up to P7. Bowen in P8, Burap's in P9 after that earlier contact. And Callum, one of our favourites for this Grand Prix, now down in P10.
Yeah, it's not been the start that he wanted, that's for sure. But I'm seeing again PWR Cookie about round number 10 of them two battling, and PWR. Oh, and Kimi's hit him. And Kimi.
Oh no, we've got a double retirement.
They've both gone out.
We've got a double retirement
here. That did
here.
not need to happen, lads. And Kimi is definitely at fault there.
Got VSC deployed once again. VSC. Surprised not to see a full safety car there with 2 cars out of the Grand Prix. That looked potentially a bit too punchy for me there, Phil. And we've lost 2 drivers that we didn't need to.
Kimi's just not left him any. Look, I think Kimi's just stayed on the inside of Cookie, and Cookie wasn't even able to turn, and he was just driving him forward.
So we're getting ready to
go
racing.
He's done it a couple of times before. Done it a couple of times before. Started weaving around under braking. As they go off again, DRS is enabled. And green so flag. The leaders, Craze Oates leads, Stubbsy in second, Dan in third. They are the 3 that are going to be battling amongst on lap 18 here. Vitinho in P4, Ganjawiz up in P5. Now Stubbsy's going to have to run on Oates here as he's got DRS. He's going to try and take him to the inside in turn 2. And down the inside goes Stubbsy. What a move into P1. Stubbsy takes the lead of this race. Oates second,
They're
Dan
going to go
third.
wheel to wheel again. It's going to come right back at him. Oxtes was that position back. These boys on the hard compounder tyre. Dan sitting there lurking there on the medium. He's going to want to get a move on at this point. He wants to take advantage of his softer compounder tyre and march up the order back into P1 where he deserves to be.
He's sticking right to the back of him now, isn't he? Dan is just like a shark in the water waiting to pounce. And Oates has had a spin. He's had a little wobble coming out of that penultimate corner, and Dan is all over the back of him coming down the main straight as he's going to pull out to the inside. And you'd think we've got a new second place. Yes, we have. Dan is now up into P2. Crazy Oates is now relegated down to P3.
He's going to come back again though. Up the hill, down into the braking zone. He's going to look to the inside. He's going to brake deep. Is there going to be contact? They both make the corner, and it's Dan that's going to come out on top, but he's going to tuck right back in the slipstream again. And looking really pacey there, Oxtis, on the hard tyre. He can really race on that tyre. And Dan there on the medium is going to have to get on the back of Stubbsy now. And them 9-lap-old hard tyres.
Who's now on the back of Chris. It's Mercedes against Ferrari again on lap 19 and towards turn 3. And Yannick gets the move done on Chris there on those hard tyres. These two have been battling for a while, and I assume that they're going to carry on to pursue to battle for another 17 laps.
So moving up to the front of the order, we've got Dan up the inside here, defending here from Oxtes, who's right up his gearbox. We've also got Ganja Wiz, who's joining the party now in the Haas, and he's going to tuck right back in the racing point, really pushing the Williams there, going down into the braking zone. He's going to brake deep. He's made contact with the leader, who's run wide, and he manages to live to fight another day. Might have had some damage there.
up to third.
And we're going to have a three-way battle next, maybe four ways.
He's going to get the lead. Oh, he's backed out.
Who's going to take the lead? We've got Stubbsy up the
Dan's
inside.
locked up.
And this is going to be an excellent end to the Grand Prix. We've now got 4 drivers who can potentially win this Grand Prix. We've got the 2 at the front on the hard tyre, the 2 behind on the medium. It's going to be interesting how this strategy works out. Oh.
This is going to be it now. Dan is right on the back of that racing point, and Vitinho is ready to pounce. Here we go, down the start-finish straight. Is anyone going to get a run? And yes, I think... Oh, we got the Haas lagging a bit all over the place. But he's got a great exit coming out of turn 1. And now it's going to be DRS. Dan's going to get alongside on the outside of Oates. And Dan's already up into P2 already. Before the corner. Can the Haas make it as well, Vitinho? He's got to be careful not to go in the back. He's made contact with Oates. Not enough for any spinning, but they're both still pointing in the right direction at the moment.
Vitinho's going to come back to the inside here. Look him go deep under.
He's going to have the position. He's going to have the position. It's the much better line if you're going side by side. We've got some comments in the Twitch. We've got Chrissy saying,
looks like
reminded me of someone, that crash, relating to Kimmy and PWR Cookie. Please do tell us who that reminds you of. And yes, it was horrible driving. What was your view of it? And we've got
Oxtes in the pits.
Millsy 9868 saying, alright boys, great commentary. We love it.
So Oxtes has had to box here. He's going to have a new front wing change by the look of it. Must have suffered damage.
I thought so, because...
And we've got a change in the lead.
Dad takes the lead. Oh, he's got to switch back Stubbsy though.
He's going to get on the traction.
Stubbsy's got it. Stubbsy's got DRS here. Dan's going to try and force him to the outside, and they don't make contact. If he makes... And he's made it round the outside. No.
Has
And
he?
they're still side by
He
side.
tucks back in.
He's going to have the inside though now.
Oh, he's almost going to send it.
Oh, this is
got
so
some great
close.
traction on them hard tyres. And Vitinho now really up the gearbox.
That's what he's doing. He's getting on the gearbox of Dan. He's forcing him to go faster on them softer tyres, and he's going to try and wear him out. And down the inside goes Vitinho.
What a move!
Oh.
You don't make moves on that corner. But Vitinho says, thank you very much. You're going to send it there, first class. And wow, that delivered.
Mystic Reed has now joined the back of the pack between himself, Yanif, and Chris. Them two battling on for P8. Callum is now up to P7 after that earlier incident.
We got almost the change of lead. Vitinho's looking really punchy again. You can't leave these guys for a second. You can't trust them because they're going to change places. They're going to go punch for punch. And we've got Vitinho down the inside. He's got the inside the line here. Dan has to run.
Dan's going to have better traction.
Hopefully he's got the inside for the next corner. But no, Vitinho is through. He's taken the lead.
Oh, what a move.
He's taken the lead of the Grand Prix. Wow, he's been sitting there ready to pounce, evaluating all this time. We'll call him the professor, and he's made it work. So in the comments, what happened to PWR Cookie? We had an incident earlier in the Grand Prix between Kimi and PWR Cookie. They was both racing really well, but I think they got a bit punchy, tangled, and both went into the barrier up by, was it turn 3, Phil? And yeah, that was the end of the Grand Prix.
Yeah, Kimi had the position. Cookie had the DRS. Kimi gave him the inside, the outside, sorry, and then Kimi just chose not to turn right, basically, and then they both went straight on. So yeah, pretty much.
So Vitinho looks like he's starting to stretch his legs a little bit at this point here. He's starting to build up a bit of a lead.
Perhaps Bowen are having a little Bowen with a 3-second time penalty. Well, Bowen is going to try and go around the outside of perhaps here. Nah, he's going to get runner. He's going to run out of track here. He's going to have to think better.
Time penalty for Dan as well. 3 seconds just flashed up there. And we got a car in the gravel. It's Ganja Wiz. What has happened to Ganja Wiz there? Has he just lost it?
I have not seen that.
But yeah, he's gone off. He's ended up in the gravel track.
And Yanif is through. And Chris is through as well.
Down that P9.
Mystic Reed is also through.
He's going to box.
And into the pits he goes.
So we've been privileged to a lot of great clean racing throughout this Grand Prix. Some not so clean as well. But going into this final stint, the final 11 laps here remaining of this Grand Prix, who's going to bring it home? Vitinho looks like he's in a good place, but it's going to be coming down to the final laps about who's in the right DRS spot, surely, and making your move, playing your cards at the right moment, Phil.
Ganja Wiz took a blunt break. That's what I've got from Millsy9868 in the comments. As we got this little trio for P8 here, we got ABR Chris, Mystic Reed and Silent Boom, all having their own little private battle.
Just going to stay on board with the leaders now. The current leaders are looking comfortable on their medium tyres, which have currently served them 12 laps. Stubbsy just sitting back there on the hard tyres, who's done 16 laps on. Who's on the freshest of the field? Oxter's down in P11. He's currently got 4 lap old mediums, and then got Ganja now back out on the soft tyre.
This is it. I think McLaren's going to get it done. Going to pull to the outside. Mystic Reed has got the position on ABR Chris, and ABR Chris is going to stick it.
Go through
and Silent has now. I think he clips him. To be fair,
he ghosted on my screen at that point. And he drove
I
straight
think he did clip him. I was on board with Reed, and I saw his car just shake as we got a new fastest lap of the race. ABR Lethal posting that on the new soft tyres.
Coming across the line to start lap 27 of the Grand Prix, and it's Vitinho, Dan, Stubbsy, Buraps, Bowen, Callum, Yalnif, Chris, Mystic, Silent Boom, Oxtes, Gandrel Wiz and Lethal rounding out the current runners in this Grand Prix. Currently 13 runners remaining. And it's going to be a tense final few laps at the front of the order. Vitinho here currently in P1, holding off Dan at this current time, but DRS is so effective around here, and coming down this Sector 2 is going to be really difficult to hold off Dan into these final phases of the Grand Prix. He's looking like he's got a bit more confidence within the car now, and he's back on his pace once again. And it's between these front two, unless they take each other out.
And again.
What's happened, Phil?
Oh, they're free wide. They're free wide. Look at them. Silent Boom, Chris and Reed. Oh, God. This is an accident waiting to happen. Careful. Oh, my life. They are so close together, but they are racing so well amongst each other. Silent Boom up 2 places into P8. Oh, it's a real shame for Oxtes as well. Technically was running first.
Looking supremely confident.
Some laps ago.
Some great pace there. But it just wasn't to be today, unfortunately. I'm sure he'll bounce back ever stronger.
It's not over though. It's certainly not over, because Dan is coming back at him.
He's doing pretty well to maintain
right
the gap as well. Just use the ERS in the right places where it really counts.
So we have lost Gator from this race as well. As we stay on board with your top two. First, ABR Vitinho. Second, PWR Dan. 4 attempts within the gap. 8 laps to go. Who has got what it takes? And that's another point as well. I'm gonna whiz through the penalties real quick. Certainly
it's going to be a grand stand finish. We need to know who's got the penalties, who's laying where. So thank you for doing that, Phil.
In terms of the front runners, we've got I've not come across any front runner penalties at the moment. However, there is a lot of warnings on this screen. Yalnif, we've got 3 seconds. Yalnif, we've got another 3 seconds. Silent Boom's got 2 lots of 3 seconds. All for exceeding track limits. Stubbsy's got 3 seconds. ABR Chris has got 3 seconds.
Vitinho and Dan, they're going to be the 2 crucial ones.
Just going in order. Vitinho has got 3 seconds. As we continue to go down.
They come across the line to start lap 30 or 36 of this Grand Prix. There's 0.3 of a second separating the front two. Then it's a further 3 seconds back to Stubbsy on the hard compounder tyre. Then Buraps P4, Bowen P5, Callum in P6, Yalnif in P7, Silent Boom P8, P9 is Mystic, and then we've got Chris in P10, who's currently just moved up ahead of Chris. We're going to stay with the leaders because it's so tense at the front. It can be won or lost at any moment.
So I have got news for you.
Good news or bad news, Phil?
So we have got Vitinho has got 6 seconds worth of penalties. As for Dan, he has only got 3 seconds of penalties.
So keep it clean, Dan.
As it stands,
stay up the gearbox.
Dan has got this win.
As it stands, it only takes 1 corner cut. As we see Stubbsy getting another 3 seconds just flash up at the bottom there, Phil. It can happen at any corner.
Mystic Reed past Silent Boom for P8 as they continue to battle. And Oxtes is now back up into 10th place. He is now back up with the fight. And hopefully he can pick up some places. He hasn't got any penalties, Oxtes, so he can get the gap there. He's on a fresh set of medium tyres, I believe. to go on board. Yeah, he's on a fresh set of medium tyres. He's 2-stopped the race, so if he can get himself within a decent gap in 5 laps time,
he's going to be
penalties
flying
are
now.
definitely going to jump some people down. Drivers like Bowen, oh, not like that. He's not, because Crazy Oxstairs has hit Silent Boom at turn
Boom
1,
is out.
and Silent Boom
is round.
Yeah,
Disaster
Oxstairs
today.
has hit him. Oxstairs broke way too deep.
Did you catch
hit the
it
back
on your
of
stream?
him? Yes, I did.
Yeah. Lovely. Head over to CSR Phil. We'll plug it after this, of course, in the ABR chat in case you want to get the second perspective. Run them simultaneously, side by side, and get the full perspective of this Grand Prix. And we're on lap 32 or 36. Still under a second, this lead of this Grand Prix. Who's going to win it? We know Dan is a lot better off in terms of the penalties. He just has to stay within that 3 seconds, bring it home and not cut any corners, and it's going to be his. Sugar-coated, surely.
And that's the thing, since his last penalty, he has had a warning as well. So I believe 3 warnings, and you don't want to. Silent Boom has called it a day in P12, and he is retiring from the session.
So I kind of hope Dan does get another time penalty, because it's going to push him to really go for this overtake. At the minute, he doesn't have to risk anything at this point. But if he does get another 3 seconds, he might have to decide to turn the wick up and make a move for P1 in this Grand Prix.
Tell you what though, I think we've just got to give a little bit of credit where it's due, really, because overall in this race, I'm just looking at the data now, and Vitinho is leading. He's up 10 places. 10 places. And despite whether he finishes first or second, as it stands, he's going to be my driver of the day so far. He's drove really well out there.
Oh, definitely. Starting P11 on the grid, up to first position. That's a real electric race there. Of course, we've had some misfortune for some at the front. Remember the early incidents. Burap's really running well, and made his way now up to, looking at Phil, up into P4. That's a great comeback drive there from him after that earlier disappointment.
Yeah, I personally didn't really see what happened. I just saw him on the gravel, but I saw he had to go in and get his whole nose changed. So he's definitely lost a lot of time off of that, and despite getting damage as well. So he's done well to pull it back here. Your French Grand Prix winner. He's going to be wanting to try and chase down that podium.
Hunt him down.
Looks a little set in stone now at the moment, but anything can happen. Penalties can play a part, especially with the amount of penalties that Stubbs has got. So Baraps hasn't actually got any pens that I saw. So
little lock up there. He's got
the minerals. Baraps can complete this podium.
Yeah, currently 4 seconds behind Stubbsy, who's really going to be suffering on his tyres at this point. We've got another 3 seconds for Vitinho.
Got another.
That's it. Surely it's all over with. I don't know if Dan's got the message, but
Dan's not going to know that.
It's another 3 seconds for Vitinho, and that's going to relegate him. Potentially, if Stubbsy gets a move on, he could actually leapfrog him at this point. I don't know what Stubbsy's penalty situation is.
Stubbsy's got more penalties than Vitinho. Stubbsy's got a few more.
So it looks
That's
like
why
P2's in the bag.
Baraps may jump him. Baraps may jump Stubbsy for P3.
Yeah, now only 4 seconds behind him. Looking to make a move back onto the podium after that earlier incident. And coming into 35 or 36 now. And he's going to get a nice run here, Dan. Is he going to make a move? Going down into the braking zone. He just holds it around the outside there and just thinks better of it. Going to get a better traction though. And Vitinho, I think, is really suffering in this later part. And he's got almost contact there with the back of the Haas.
Whether you've got a penalty or not, any driver wants to finish first on track. Any driver would take finishing first on track than coming across the line in second in get him first over penalties.
And he's looking really punchy now. He's looking really punchy. He's within a quarter of a second. As they come up to the line to start the final lap. I mean, this is the main battle. We've got Ganja Wiz. He's right on the back of Chris as well. But we're going to stay with the leaders for the final lap of this Grand Prix. And we've got Dan. He's going to make a move, surely. He's in the slipstream.
It's going to go down the inside. Nope, thinks better of it.
He's going to get on the power nicely here. But, of course, Vitinho's going to hold the inside line there.
That's it. Take your line nice and well.
And I think that's pretty much it. Coming through Sector 2, it's going to be difficult to make a move. And it looks like Vitinho's going to bring it home P1 on track.
But yeah, I mean, he started P11. Didn't have the best of Q2s, but he's absolutely made every moment in this race count. The pit stops, the tyre strategies. Vitinho, whether he gets the motor second, he's going to come across the line. In P1, Dan I think is going to take the win. He does. But what a drive from Vitinho. Let's see who gets third here between Baraps and Stubbsy. I think Baraps might jump him. Stubbsy crosses the line.
But
is Baraps going to take it? He has.
What a result there off comeback drive. And it's Callum in P5. Oh, sorry, P6. Bowen's up to P5 there. Just
Craze Oaks P7 after a spin as well, after a nose change. That's a really good result for Oxtes as well. He's really nailed that 2-stop stint to get some good points there.
And then we've got Chris and Ganja is just crossing the line ever so slowly there. And Lethal was going to round out the final finishers. So it finished Dan, Vitinho, Baraps, Stubbsy, Bowen, Callum, Oxtes, Mystic. And then Yalnif and Ganja Wiz rounding out the points. P11 was Chris and then Lethal there. Some great racing. Real misfortune there for some drivers. There was a lot of incidents. We've got some donuts for the fans here from Lethal.
Yeah.
Always delivering for the home Grand Prix.
ABR actually got the fastest lap of the race as well. ABR Lethal got the fastest lap, and you doing some donuts for the fans. That's what we all like to see. Got to take some credit for finishing the race, as he takes his right end plate off for good measure.
It's a little souvenir.
He's going to reverse across the line. He's going to reverse across. I need to. There we go. And there you have it.
What did you make of the
Grand Prix?
What did you make of it, Phil? It was action-packed throughout. Everyone seemed to sort of be in their position towards the end, but some great action on track and some real talking points, controversy as well in that Grand Prix.
Yeah, I still think Vitinho, he had a great drive. It was unfortunate for the penalties. I think it hurts a little bit more, especially when you're in front and you're trying to, you know, you've got those penalties and you don't know what the car behind has got, and you're trying to defend and you just haven't got the tyres. But he's done a great job regardless. He's up 9 positions. He's the driver of the day. But fair play to Dan, fair play to Baraps after the mishap he had. We definitely had some great racing here. As you look at all the penalties as well, that is how much it came down to, those penalties there.
So your driver of the day is Vitinho after an epic drive up the grid, starting P11 there and finishing P2, P1 on track.
Good drive there, really good drive. But yeah, that was once again some fantastic racing, and you definitely get a lot more overtakes here than you do around France. So definitely we've got the British Grand Prix next week as well, so make sure you stay tuned for that as well.
Yeah, this is going to be really interesting in terms of the championship, because some of the key players not really scoring too highly there, and yeah, it's really going to mix up the order. Vitinho scoring some big points there for him, and that's going to put him back in contention for this championship. But really enjoyed that Grand Prix. I hope you did too, and we can't wait again to get going again in the next Grand Prix.